Good morning, all of you. Today we are discussing about the introductory concepts of database management system. So first we see the definitions of what is data, what is database, and what is database management system. So here, data is nothing but it is a collection of raw information or collection of raw facts like this. And what is database means collection of interrelated data. And then what is database management system is here the collection of interrelated data, and there we are creating some programs to store we are creating some queries to store the data within the database. So examples for databases, some of the examples for databases are MySQL, so SQL, Oracle, etc. So then we see the today we are discussing about what are the different applications of database and what are different data models present in database. So and also we discussed what is relational data and database design. Then here the database management system so contains some of the enterprises like interrelated data, and it consists the set of programs how to access the data and in different ways where we are using the database management system, that is nothing but database applications. So in different areas we are using the databases. First one is in banking system we are using the database. There we use the so who are the different customers are there, so their details are stored within the database, and also what are the different transactions we are performing by customers. So that is nothing but credit the amount and debit the amount. So and also some users are cancel the transactions like that. In airlines also we are using the database. In airlines how we are using the database is nothing but so in reservation system and also schedule of airlines. So schedule of flights at which time they are arriving and which time they departure. In this way they are using the databases. In universities also we are using the databases. There in universities, so for registration purpose we are using the database, and also they store the student details. So they stored the student details and they stored the marks and grades of the students. And in exam section also they are storing the student details and their marks. In sales also using the databases. In sales they use for customer purpose, product purpose, and purchase purpose. In online retailers also using databases. So these are the some of the examples for database application where we are using the databases. So within the database we can store the large amount or huge amount of data. Next we discussed so what are the application programs? So here are some of the examples. So for student we can create the table, and there we can store the student details. And also for employee also we create the tables, and there we store the employee details within the databases. So what are the drawbacks present in databases? In olden days, we are storing the data within the files. So, but in there, it is some files are discarded. So, in that case, the data is also lost. Our data, customers' data is also lost. For that purpose, we are storing the data within the database. So, what are the drawbacks of a database? Is nothing but first one is data redundancy and inconsistency, and also difficulty in accessing data, data isolation, and integrity problems. So, data redundancy is nothing but multiple times. So, it creates the duplication of data. Two or more times we are entering the same person details, otherwise same student details. And another one is difficulty in accessing data. So huge amount of data is there in the database. In that case, we cannot access the data immediately. So it takes more time to access the data. Another one is data isolation. So it consists of multiple files and formats. Next one is integrity problem. So integrity constraint consists the program code rather than being stated explicitly. So another drawback is atomicity of updates. So failures may leave database in an inconsistent state with partial updates carried out here. And concurrent access by multiple users. Concurrent access. So at a time, two or more users can access the data, same data at a time. This is also one of the disadvantages. And security problem is also there. So for this purpose, we are providing the we are encrypting our data for security purpose. We are encrypting our data and decrypting our data whenever the user want to store the data within the database. In that case, the student must encrypt the data by using some encryption and decryption algorithm. So after encryption, the data will be converted into normal plain text data will be converted into ciphertext. So that ciphertext consists only machine code. It consists only zeros and ones. That is nothing but binary code. It cannot understand by the user. So after storing the data, whenever user want to access the data, the user can decrypt the data because the user cannot understand the ciphertext data. For that purpose, after decryption, the ciphertext data should be converted into plain text. In that case, the user can access the data. The plain text can understand by the user. So this is the main. In this way, we are providing the security for our data. Now, what are the levels present in abstraction or in our database architecture? Physical level, logical level, and view level. In physical level, we describe the n number of records, whatever records stored within the database. In logical level, it describes the data stored in the database and the relationship among the data. So in view level, so the application programmers hide details of data types and it can also hide information for security purpose. So this is the basic architecture of database system. So it consists of view level. In the view level, we have n number of views out there and also they are connected with logical level and physical level. What are the instances? What is instance and schema? So these in schemas consist different types: logical schema and physical schema. Logical schema is nothing but overall logical structure of the database. That is nothing but database consists of information about a set of customers and accounts in a bank and the relationship between them. The physical schema, overall physical structure, it represents the overall physical structure of the database. Here, instances is nothing but actual content of database at a particular point in time and the values of a variables available here. Physical data dependency, the ability to modify the physical schema without changing the logical schema. And the applications are dependent on the logical schema. The interfaces between the various levels and compositions should be well defined so that changes changes not necessarily influence the others. So this is about today's topic. These are the introductory concepts of database management system. Thank you all.